you're just jumping in right now, drop a little comment real quick. Who are you? Where are you from? What do you do? What's your book going to be about? What's your business? What are you an expert at? I'd love to hear from you guys. Where are you in the country? I'm tuning in from San Diego, California. I'd love to hear, where are you guys at? Where are you tuning in from? And what do you do? Let's see who we got here today. This is going to be awesome, man. Yeah, for sure, Shannon, you'll get the replay. Absolutely. So I just hit record on this. So for those that have to run to a meeting and stuff like that, I'll send this out via email and text to you guys when we're all done here, which would be really cool. So let's do this. Who do we got here, man? You guys throw on your cameras. Come say hi. I'd love to see you. What kind of businesses? Atlanta, Georgia. What's up? Dorian, what's your book about? Why don't you guys, hey, what's up? David Sassid is in the house. Guys, in the chat real quick, just drop a quick little comment, like who are you? What do you do? What's your book going to be about? What are you an expert at? I want to just make sure we get everybody on here before I start teaching and going. It'll be a good time. So Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Oh, what's up, man? All right, cool, Jeff. Good to see you, man. We got an SDSU alum in the house. Hey, Jeff, what's your business? Let's see. Tate, if I said that okay, hopefully I said that right. Fitness and wellness. I got a couple examples for you around that. Dorian does financial literacy. Oh, I love that. That's awesome. That's freaking awesome. This is gonna be great. So for those that are just jumping in right now, we're gonna talk about how to write a book, get more clients, have some fun. It'll be a really good time. Just getting a few more people welcomed in here, and we are gonna get moving, my friends. We are gonna get moving. So here's what I'd love to hear from you guys real quick. What are some of the biggest questions you have about writing a book? So I'm going to go through all this. Ooh, financial sales. What's up, Adam? That's great, dude. What's up, New Jersey? Let's see. David in Napa being locked up abroad. Yeah, David sent me a quick little transcript of his book. It looks great, man. Really excited to have you guys here. Julie, this is huge. Turn your life around in 30 days. I love that. All right, cool. So let me just kind of get going for you guys right now, man. What I'd love for you to do is get a really good idea right now of like what your biggest questions are before we get started as people are hopping on. So the lay of the land today, just to kind of explain to you guys how this is going to go down. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to teach you guys my very first $1 million book funnel. So we did $1 million of revenue with this book right here. I'm going to share with you guys how. Who here would want to know like actually how to get clients and revenue with a book? Would that be dope for you guys? Like just come out the gates. Anybody been to one of these classes where they wait like an hour to give you the goods? Anybody like stick around? It was funny. I was on one a couple of weeks ago and the guy's just clicking through. He had 165 slides and I'm on slide 2. Like, bro, come on, man. An hour later, he finally got going. That's not me. So if you're new here, never been through one of my master classes. Yeah, Julie says, boring. Here's the way this works. I got no slides. There's no slides at all. I'm going to teach you guys as a teacher. I'm going to teach you a concept that I've made millions of dollars with in the next like 15 minutes. So we're going to come out the gate strong. With that being said, also, anybody been on these calls where there's like a giant pitch at the end and you're like waiting for like the but wait, there's more. And like you can't leave the Zoom room and they're like, hey, if you take action in the next 30 seconds, just everybody take a breather. This is a Nicholas Trevillian masterclass. I teach. I'm a teacher. I'm a business coach. I change lives, guys. So there's nothing sold at the end of today, just so you know. So like put your wallet away, your purse away, take a breather. You can turn on your cameras. I'm not selling you nothing. The only thing we have today is a book writing workshop in a few weeks for $97. That's all we have today. So everybody take a big breather. I hate those things where you're like waiting for the big 25 grand thing. And what I feel it does though is the whole time you're waiting for like the shoe to drop, I am a teacher. I am here to help you learn how to write a book and go get clients. That's what I do. I am a business coach. I'm a Facebook ads guy. I believe in social media. Who here, real quick, this would be really cool. Who here saw one of my ads on social media to get here? Who here is like the ad that got you here? That's a huge part of what I do for business owners. I run an elite mastermind for business owners that want to write books, get on stages, run ads, become the authority, get on podcasts. That's what I do. We don't sell that today. Okay. There's nothing like that. So just take a huge breather. What that allows you to do is it allows you to like get on camera and come share. So first things first, I'm going to go over how we made $1 million with this book. Then second, I'm going to go through the book writing process and getting published. Who here, when you listed out all the questions to get here, had like, how do I get on Amazon and Kindle? Who here's wondering about like the editing, the publishing, the book covers, how that all works? Yep, totally get that. So once I go through the marketing of it, like how to actually make money, I'm going to share with you guys the details. Now, real quick, why I do these in reverse order. Everybody wants to know like the tactic. Here's what you guys need to understand. First, we have to understand why. Why are we writing a book? How are we going to use that to get on podcast? How are we going to use that to grow our business? How am I going to use that to actually change lives? So we're going to start there. The biggest questions I get about writing a book are like, Nick, how do I edit it? ChatGPT, there's your answer. Get out of here. Like, we don't need to know about the baby little tactics yet. I'm going to go through all of it though. I'll share with you guys how to publish for free for the most part. I'll share with you guys what publishing on your own looks like versus going through a publisher. That'll be really cool. Like I'm really excited about that. So let me just like rack your brains real fast. You guys realize you could publish a book on Amazon and Kindle in the next 60 minutes for free? Did anybody know that? Well, you do now, and I get to teach you that. So that's really cool. So guys, I'm not a book publisher. That's not what I do. I'm your friend, Nikki T, who's written some books. I'm a business coach, and I want to see you win. So that'll just set the groundwork for today. And then the third thing we're going to go through is going to be the identity of you as this author. What does that look like to step into the highest and best version of yourself? What does that person look like with the content that they create? What does that version of you look like getting on stages, landing clients, sending your book out? It's going to be really, really sick. So I'm really excited for that one for you. And then finally, what we're going to do is going to do some Q&A for you guys. Who here's got some like real questions about the process right now and like what to do? Who here's like, dude, like, how do I do this? So what I'm going to try to do is get through a bunch of this stuff. Yeah, keeping royalties, all those questions. What I'm going to do when I get through the lessons, we're going to literally go live Q&A. And so I don't know if anybody noticed, this is just my Zoom room. This isn't like a webinar. You can unmute and ask me questions and the whole bit. All I ask is just be respectful of the Zoom room for everybody else on. There's always somebody that like hops on and unmutes, as in like the grocery store. Don't be that person. But I've set this up so when we get to the end, you can literally ask questions and we're going to go live Q&A and I'm going to take them in order. Is that cool? Is everybody ready? Like, are we all prepped up? Everybody good to go? All right, cool. So drop me a little emoji in the chat. How are you feeling right now? Like, what's an emoji that represents how you're feeling? Who's lit? Who's stoked? Drop me something. Just how are you feeling in the chat? Let's have some fun. This is going to be cool. iPhone is loving. I got that love. Tatea, if I said that correctly, it's fire. Let's go, dude. This is going to be stuff. All right, cool. So Julie, it might be the studio here. I'm not super echoey. I got the microphone on, so hopefully you guys, can you guys hear me okay? I mean, audio coming through okay? Cool, awesome. All right, let's rip. So guys, real quick, I was asked this question right when we started. I am recording this. I do tend to talk fast because I get excited about what we're teaching because this changed my life. And so this is all being recorded. And so please know when this is done, I'll get you guys an email back with the replay so you can watch it, you can go through it. So that way, like you can take notes right here, lean into the process. But yes, this will be recorded for you. It's currently recorded and I'll send that back out. So if you guys are ready to go, just say, I'm ready in the chat. Let's get moving. I got to know, like, this is real cool though. I see some familiar faces and some new friends. Who here is this your first Nikki T workshop? Like hit me if that's you in the chat. Like Jeff, it's your first one. Okay. Let's see. Dorian's ready. Adam, it's your first one to take me. Okay, cool. So check this out. Go, baby, go. All right. So guys, life is good, man. I believe energy is our currency. And as we're getting ready to talk about a book, who here right now feels writing a book is like one of your life's greatest goals? Anybody have that goal? Like right now, like writing a book for you would be like your life's greatest goal. It was for me. For me, writing a book changed my life. It was the moment where I was able to, I felt like I had arrived. Anybody a community college dropout like me? So I lasted 3 fine semesters at Mesa College. I played football there. I got hurt, lost my scholarship, but I never went and got the big degree on the wall. I never got the plaque. And so for me, when I wrote my first book, I felt it was a culmination, like I had achieved something. You know, my mom always wanted me to go to school and I dropped out of college when I was 19 to become an entrepreneur. And for me, writing a book is a very special process. And understand, I take that with that level of seriousness for you. And I appreciate a lot of people are here. I know who you are on the other side of the book because I've had it happen. Like I've done this to all of these clients, right? And so I'm going to get excited. I'm going to get jacked. We're going to have some fun. We're going to get some energy and we're going to go. So this is a Nikki T workshop. So guys, I highly encourage you to, you will get more out of this if you turn a camera on and you engage. Like I promise you this, if I throw it in the chat, throw it in the chat. So we're going to have some fun. This is going to be a little awkward for you guys. If it's your first time, you're going to be like, what is in the world is going on? I need you to start knowing something very, very clear. For you to do something you've never done, you're going to have to go do something you've never done. So you showing up this morning, not an author. Somebody here today in the next 90 minutes is going to leave with a plan of attack to write a book. Somebody here is going to publish a book in the next 30 days. I promise you that. So we're going to get started. So guys, we do something around my world called air push-ups. Just give me 10 air push-ups wherever you're sitting. Why we do this? Get your body moving. And a lot of you guys have been sitting all morning. I just got back from the gym. All right, cool. So this is kind of fun. So everybody just kind of lean to the right a little bit. We're just going to stretch this out a little bit. Get moving, get moving. Jeff's waving at me over here. All right, cool. So guys, I started boxing. I have a boxing coach now. I want you to give me a boom, boom, boom. Give me a little 1-2 jab, right? It's funny. Your cat's going to look at you and be like, Dad, what are you doing? Mom, what are you doing? Right? And so guys, I like to have a good time. But here's what I would love to hear from you real quick. Like, what are some of the things you're super grateful for right now in life? We're going to ground this whole room right now. What are a couple things you're super grateful for this week, today? The sunshine, birds are chirping here. You got your health. We're entrepreneurs. I'm grateful all you guys are here. Some amazing new friends here showing up to the class today. What are some of the things right now this week? What are some things? Seeing the grass from the green side. You know, Jeff, I just heard the grass is always green where I grow it. I was like, yeah, that's about right. Grass is always green where I go. And I was like, yep. Being a published author, my catch, your life. Yes, life, health, family, friends. Jesus. Yeah, I'm a Christian over here. Praise Jesus. Let's go. I'd love to start with this because here's what I want you guys to look at. We're getting ready to take on a journey together. We're going to become real close in this process. It'll be dope. And as you start growing, as I start building, I want you to really reflect on like, what are some of the things that like you're really grateful for this week? Like the fact that we're here learning, like how to write a book, like what world is that? You know, like even when I put the invite out, I was like, dude, what a dream come true, man. Like I get to teach how to write a book. So let's just get started. So I'll share with you guys how I got into the book writing process, how I wrote my first book and why and all the above. So I was just a traditional real estate agent when I first started this process. Yeah, just 72. Let's go, man. 72 years young. So guys, check this out. I'll share with you how I wrote my first book. Never in a million years that I think I'd write a book. Never in a million years that I think I'd be a published author. Anybody feel that way where you're like, dude, I'm not a writer. This is not me. If that's you, you're not alone. I'm the kid that had his high school girlfriends write my English papers for me. True story. I used to go over to girlfriends' houses and they would write them for me because I was not good at that. I wasn't a writer, right? But what I was an expert at what I taught. Now, before we continue on, I just want to respect everybody's time. All of the marketing for this had warnings that this is for business owners. This is for entrepreneurs, for experts, for consultants, for coaches, for lawyers, for chiropractors, for attorneys, for nutritionists, all of it. I just want to be upfront. If you're tuning in right now saying, Nick, I want to write my novel. Nick, I want to write a children's book or a cookbook. I want to be super respectful of your time. This is not that place. This is for business owners. It's so funny. You guys saw it everywhere. This is for business owners, business owners, business owners. And always, always, always on one of these calls, somebody would be like, yeah, I know you said business owners, but can you help me write a cookbook? No, I just want to clarify. This is for business owners that want to get more clients. You want to grow your business. You want to get more leads. You want to get on podcasts, want to get on stages. Yeah, you want to sell your book. You want to help people, serve people, all of it. I just need you to have a business and something to sell. I will teach you how to sell books and all of it. Just want to be respectful. So yeah, speaking engagement, yes. But if you're here to write your memoirs or you're here to write a novel or a fiction book, science fiction, I apologize. I am not your guy. I'm a business coach that takes businesses from 0 to 100K, then 100K to $1 million. Okay. Personal development, Julie. Yes. Let's freaking go. Just want to be respectful. Like I said, somebody always sneaks in and I get in the marketing side and they're like, well, how do I market a cookbook? And I'm like, I ain't got you. So this is for business owners. Just want to clarify. And so that's how we got here. So I never thought about writing a book. Wasn't on my radar, wasn't something I wanted to do. So I was running $1 million real estate business. So I owned a company called Go Sold Realty. That was me in a previous life before I became a surfer and lived in San Diego. And I wore 3-piece suits. I sold 200 homes per year. By anybody's standards, I was an expert at what I did. I was crushing it. Had $1 million per year business. I was 25 years old, wore 3-piece suits, drove a BMW. I was Slick Willie, right? Had a radio show, had TV commercials. I had Jerry Springer do a TV commercial for me. I thought I was hot shit. I had 2 locations in Phoenix, Arizona, 50 employees. I was rolling, we were cruising, right? And I was part of a marketing group. And what I want to do today is just give you guys everything that I know. Like, can I just have your guys' permission? Can I just like pour it on you like you're real coaching students with me? Is that cool? Like, can I just like unload, like we're all here, we're all ready to make money and just not like sugarcoat this? So I was part of an elite marketing group and we met once a month. And in this elite marketing group, you would meet at 7 p.m. on a Wednesday. Well, I don't know about you, but when you've already worked 10 hours that day and like been running around Phoenix, Arizona, and it's hot as hell, by 7 p.m., you're kind of miserable, right? But I would never miss these marketing meetups because it was my marketing group. I got a lot of referrals out of it. So I show up to the Wednesday night, 7 p.m. marketing meetup. I had worked all day, okay? I was busy as all get out. So we pull into the marketing meetup and it wasn't Google, it wasn't pay-per-click, it wasn't sales funnels, it wasn't anything like that. It was a guy talking about writing and publishing a book. And I rolled my eyes and I'm like, oh God, dude, I just drove down here. It's 30 minutes home. I'm here now. Let me just eat some dinner and I'll hang out. So the guy gets on stage. He's teaching all about the book writing process and how to write and publish a book. And why I never thought about it, it wasn't on my radar. I didn't think that my story was book worthy. Anybody feel that way where you're like, why me? Why me? I got you. We're going to change that today. Well, he's telling this whole story of like writing a book. And I'm like, well, dude, I'm not going to sell a book. Maybe one day I'll be a speaker and a coach, but I just wanted more real estate buyers and listings. Why I love this analogy, because you can represent that, right? Who here right now just wants another 3 clients? Whatever you sell, attorney, realtor, personal trainer, just give me more clients, dude. I just want more people to work with, right? And so he goes and does his thing. Well, to be honest with you, and I've told him this now, we've become friends. I was on my phone, responding to emails, getting back to people, finishing up some contracts for the day. Like I said, we were in real estate and I wasn't paying attention at all. He does his hour spiel and he gets off stage and the rooms break it up. And he walks up and he goes, Nick, what did you think? All right, here we go, guys. This is going to be the biggest marketing lesson I could ever give you. You'll get it 20 minutes in. He said, what'd you think? And I said, hey, man, with all due respect, maybe one day I'll sell books, on Amazon or get in bookstores. Maybe one day, I'll become an inspirational speaker. Maybe one day I'll have a story to tell. Totally get that. Appreciate what you're doing. Great presentation. Good for you type thing. And he goes, well, Nick, what do you want more of right now? And I said, well, I'm in real estate, man. I want more clients. And he goes, well, do you know any real estate agents in Phoenix that have written a book? And I go, well, no, why would they? And he goes, and that right there, my friend, is the marketing lesson that I will give you. And I went, wait, what do you mean? And he goes, well, aren't you the expert? He goes, you're goated, right? You're 1% at what you do. And I was like, yeah, I'm great. And he goes, Nick, only 1% of the whole population will ever write a book. Everybody put that in the chat, 1%. Less than 1% of the population will ever write and publish a book. And I went, okay. And he goes, so you're the big marketing guy, right? You're on the newspapers, the radio, the TV. And I was like, yeah. And he goes, a book becomes the ultimate business card, Nick. And he goes, don't you do open houses and stuff? And I go, well, yeah. And he goes, Nick, did you know that there's actually more doctors and PhDs than there are published authors? And I said, well, no. And he goes, so if you wrote a book, you would now become the published author on what? Your home selling system. And I went, okay, I'm listening now. And he goes, so when you're up against a listing, and I want you to think about your business. This is not for real estate agents. Just please understand the analogy. I wanted to go sell homes, right? I was fighting against 75,000 other realtors. So when we would show up to a property, there would be 3 or 4 other realtors they were interviewing. You guys can get the moment, right? They were interviewing somebody else. And now online, they're looking at other people's stuff. And he said, Nick, by you writing and publishing a book, you would establish that you're an expert. It would prove that you've sold a couple thousand homes because you now have a home selling system published. We'll get you on Amazon. You can say your book's on Amazon. And I went, okay, I'm really listening now. Are you guys starting to get this right now? Who here's already learned something from this? He goes, what it would do is position you as the authority. Everybody put authority in the chat. It positions you as the authority. Boom. Thank you, Nanette. Boom. What it does is it positions you as the authority, as the expert. So when I'm up against anybody else for them to sell their home, who would you rather have? The agent who barely has any marketing and a teeny tiny little business card, or this dude who wrote a book about his home selling system and sent this to your doorstep? Check this. It is mind-boggling. This can be an ebook. I'll get into a ton of different analogies. I just want you guys to understand how we started this. So I went through the book writing process. It only took me 30 days to write and publish this. Just so you guys know, 30 days start to finish, this book was in my hands. And again, I'm not a writer, and I'm going to unpack how to do it. So if you're wondering why, how, I'm going to do it all. But it took me 30 days to write, publish this, and have this on doorsteps. So you guys ready for my very first experience with writing a book on what happened? So here's what happened. I get a phone call from a guy and he goes, hey man, my coworker used you to buy a home. She says you're great at listing properties. My home's been on the market for 6 months. Ready? He goes, just so you know, I hate you stupid realtors. You guys are the most overpaid people on the planet. Who agrees like realtors and lawyers are overpaid? Like I ain't judging, man. I was kind of overpaid. I get it, dude. Like you get it. And he's like, Nick, I got to be real with you, man. My home's been on the market 6 months. I've heard every freaking dog and pony show. I've had all the promises. I'm trying to move to Chicago. I can't get there. They're holding me up. This guy sucks. And he goes, I heard you're good, but I'm also going to be interviewing 3 other people. I just want you to know that. Just want to be upfront. I was like, okay, cool. Respect, right? Mad respect. He goes, I'm going to interview you and 3 people. On Friday, I'm going to make a decision. This was on Monday. Okay. Watch this and welcome to the $1 Million Book Funnel. Here you go. Get ready to take notes. I told you guys, I ain't got no stupid Claude slide deck. We're going to hang out. Okay. So what do I ultimately want in this process? I want money. Okay. What do I want? I want this $15,000 commission. That's what I want. Where am I at right here? He doesn't know me, so he's got a frowny face. You guys are going to learn so much about sales right now. Somebody needs your product or service, right? They've seen your TikTok, they've seen your YouTube, they've seen your reel, they've been through your stuff, right? They don't know you though. In my game, we call it the 47-minute rule. On average, people have to spend 47 minutes with you to actually understand what you do, who you are, and if you're a decent human being. So what did he say right here? Nick, I'll at least call you. I'll give you a shot, kid, but I don't know you. So understand, most prospects come in with their arms folded like this. Who here's been on a sales call and they're like, what do you got, dude? Like you're fighting an uphill battle. Welcome to sales, guys. I've been in it 22 years now. I understand the game. Okay. I understand the game. I've done $25 million in high ticket sales. And if you understand what I'm going to share with you, you will literally change your business forever. So here's what happened. On a Monday, Nick, I don't know you. I'm interviewing 3 other realtors plus you. I want the $15,000 sale. I want him to trust me, like me, know me, want to work with me. Is that making sense? That's what we want. We all want easy prospects that like you, want to work with you. You want your membership. You want whatever you want on the backside. So here's what I did. This is my $1 million book funnel. I'm going to put book right here. What we did in my process, and this isn't going to be everybody's, and I'll explain to you multiple processes. What we did was, before my appointment with him on Friday is when he wanted me out. What we did was we shipped him the book in a big giant box. Yes, sir. I'll see you Friday. Nice to meet you. And then in my process, because we were an offline business, some of you will be online and I'll show you how that process works next. But for this situation, I need you to understand the analogy. I'm going to see him on Friday. Nick, I don't know about you. I hate realtors. You're overpaid. I'm going to interview 3 other people. We took a box and we put my book in it right here, a physical book. Okay. And we shipped that box to his house. My assistant's job when I got off the phone was to grab this box of my book, and it had some other marketing in it, some testimonials, and send it to his doorstep. It took 2 days to get there. So here's what happens. My book goes out on Monday. He hates me. I get a call on Wednesday, once my book got delivered with the box. Mr. Johnson, here's Nicholas's book. He'd like you to read this before your appointment on Friday. Anybody want to take a wild crack at what happened on Wednesday? Here's how it went. I had his number saved. I knew it was him. And he was kind of a jerk on the first phone call. Hey, Mr. Johnson, how's it going? He goes, hey, young man, I got this box here on my doorstep. I said, yes, you do. It made it. And he goes, hey, so I just read the first couple chapters of your book. And he goes, you're kind of the real deal, aren't you? And I said, well, 2,000 homes don't lie. I've been at this a while, and I totally get your last realtor sucked and made you false promises. And I totally get, I'm going to see you on Friday. Again, this is Wednesday. Okay. Very important for you to understand this. This was Friday when I was going to meet him. And I totally get you're going to be interviewing 3 other people. I just wanted you to know up front what my home selling system was. See, this book was literally my 10-step home selling system in 10 chapters. That's all it simply was. See, you're the expert at what you teach. Here's how that phone call went. She said, Nick, I got your book in my hand. I've seen all I needed to see. I've never met him. And he goes, hey, this is Wednesday. He goes, I know I have you set up for Friday. He goes, hey, just a heads up. I canceled all those other 3 realtors. Would you be down to just cruise by this evening and meet me on Wednesday? Yeah. So I hopped in the car. I drive up to his property. This is a true story. I pull up to the home. The front doors, big double doors are wide open. And his wife greets me in the front door. She goes, Nick, I read your book. So good to meet you. This is my first time meeting these people who hate real estate agents. I walk in the front door. Dude comes down the staircase and he does this. I'll never forget it. He goes, Nick, there's my realtor, the guy that's going to get this home sold. He literally goes, where do I sign? And I just went, rack up 15 grand. Here we go. So anyway, I'm sitting at his kitchen table and he's got the book sitting there. And it went from this stranger to like a really good friend. Why? Does anybody know why? He saw me as the expert that I really was. Who here feels you have really good data and knowledge? Who here records content? You're like, I'm really good at this. Trust right there. What happens, my friends, we seek out books to learn. Would everybody agree with this? This is the power of books. We seek out books to learn. And so when you take your system, health, fitness, coaching, law, legal, your story, self-development, whatever, and put it in a book, books are immersion. And everybody put these 2 words in the chat. Immersion equals conversion. Immersion equals conversion. Now, why do I say that? Let me explain what I mean with that. Immersion equals conversion means this. He didn't know me, but he was able to read my book like I was sitting in his home office, his den, his living room. So whether it's a physical copy or an ebook, he's sitting there hearing my entire story. And books are where people go to learn. Like I mentioned, I'm a community college dropout. I've learned everything through books and tapes. And for me, this becomes even a more special skill in 2026 in the world of AI. Because everything is going fake, I'm doubling down on real, physical, and tangible. Check this out. I told you guys you're going to learn marketing lessons. Warren Buffett said this: when everybody else zigs, I zag. If everything is going to fake fugazi fantasy land, I believe physical books that you can hold, touch, highlight, write up will become such an exclusive skill. It's unbelievable, because nobody understands what I just told you. I could have emailed him that book, and I'll show you how to do that. That's fine. But because I sent him the physical copy, it now was what? Proof. It was physical proof, 178 pages, that I knew exactly what I was talking about. And all this simply was the PowerPoint presentation I had given thousands of times, wrapped up into a book and repackaged. Welcome to the greatest marketing lesson I could ever give you guys in the first 27 minutes of this class. Did you guys learn something already? All right, cool. So Masterclass is over. You guys have a great day. We'll see you. Yeah, totally kidding. Jeff's like, I got it, man. 72 looks good on me. Let's go. And I share with you guys that story so you understand how this connects. Did anybody, when I shared that, anybody else connect in their business how this would work for you? So that strategy, realtors, loan officers, consultants, dentists, doctors. So to go through a couple other here, like who would that work for? This is a real estate agent, Crystal, we wrote a book for, absolutely works for her. Personal trainers works for her. This is a blue collar insurance businesses, right? Insurance agents, yes, would absolutely work. This perfect example, a financial advisor writing a book. And that's a couple offline strategies for you guys, right? And I'll get into the coaching side of things. Commercial real estate agent worked for him. And so you guys get that concept, right? And so that's how we started it. And then how I got here, which is really funny. So I had a personal trainer. Where'd he go? He's down here somewhere. Hold on. So I had a personal trainer, and I was working out in the gym. And he said, Nick, I'd love to sit you down and pick your brain on marketing. I said, okay, cool. That sounds fine. And so we go have lunch. I don't know about anybody on this call, but anybody else have an addiction to chips and salsa when you end up at a Mexican restaurant? Okay, so for me, chips and salsa are my go-to, and a Diet Coke. You can't talk to me. Anyway, I'm at this lunch with my personal trainer, just mowing down on chips. You get the moment, right? Like, and he looks at me and he goes, hey man, I'm a personal trainer. You know, I'm really good at getting people in shape. I'm in good shape myself. What would you do if you were me to grow my business? You guys got to get the moment. I'm sitting there munching on chips, and I'm like, dude, you should write a book. I literally said it with like chips flying everywhere. So the first person I ever helped write a book was one of my best friends, Nate. He's a personal trainer. He wrote a book called Passport Fitness on how to travel when you're traveling the world. And then he followed that up with a new book called The $1 Million Body Method. It was really cool. He emailed me this morning for this class, and he's like, dude, I should write a third book. And I was like, dude, you should. So anyway, just fill you guys in on that. That's how we started here, which leads me to you guys, man, and just sharing with you some of the things that work. So I wrote that book first, changed my business, and then I just wanted to help and serve people. I wanted to help and serve my clients and business owners. And I realized really quickly that writing a book was it. So when I promised you guys my $1 million book funnel, I just want to clearly explain this. We would get a prospect or a lead. And so this was my very first $1 million funnel. This is what I wanted. This is the big pattern interrupt. Whenever I teach this class, a lot of people learn something new. Who here thought when you logged on today, I was going to teach you how to sell $19.99 books? Who here was expecting that? What would I want? I mean, hear me out. You tell me, what would you rather have? Would you rather a $19.99 book, or would you rather a $15,000 commission? No brainer, right? Simple, right? Now check this out. My system and the whole, Nick, give me the $1 million funnel and don't make me wait 90 minutes for it. Here's what it is. Give away the secrets for free, sell the implementation. That is a quote from Alex Hormozi, goated Hormozi. I'm going to say that again. Give away the secrets for free, sell the implementation. And what does that mean in this concept? Why would I be willing, and I want to hear from you guys to make sure you guys get, actually, let me see who's paying attention. Watch this. Somebody want to unmute right now and share with me why I would be willing to give away a $20 book that I could sell for 20 bucks. Why would I give that away in return for a client? Mike, you want to unmute and tell me?
$1 million offer, buddy.
$1 million offer, buddy. Why I'm willing to do this is I don't want the 20 bucks. I want to start the law of reciprocity. Nick's done something for me. Nick believes in his system. Now I'm going to really blow you guys away. How much do you think that this book, so people sell these for $19.99, $14.99 in the chat. What do you think it costs to actually sign, seal, print, deliver this book right here? How much do you think this book to get printed on your doorstep would be? Any guesses? So they books sell on Amazon, $19.99, $29.99, $14.99. Julie says $8. $8. Yeah, that's a really good guess. Okay, anybody else? $9. Yeah, so $5 to $6. You guys are spot on. This book costs $4.25 to get printed up. So here becomes the big marketing lesson. Would you be willing to give away $4.25 for $15,000? Then the question becomes, how many $4 books can I give out? So here's the big ultimate $1 million funnel that I built, and I'll share with you guys how I built it offline, and then I'll share with you guys how we did it again online, okay? So I'm going to try to meet every business here. I'm going to hit the offline businesses first. We would give away a $4 book to everybody that I met. So we bought boxes of books. Let me show you guys what they look like. So I buy boxes of books 100 at a time. That's it. So we're going to get into the print process in a bit, but here's a box of my books, okay? So this is a 50 box right here. And so when I order books, I order 100 at a time. They're usually $450 to $550 depending on shipping and stuff like that, right? So call it $500 for 100 books. We'll just round up $4.25 plus tax, title, shipping to my home. So what we would do in this situation is I would get 100 books at a time. That's it. So you don't have to have 20,000. You don't have to have a warehouse. Our $1 million funnel was get the books. Then every lead that we got, we would send them the book to their doorstep. And I appreciate you. There's time to deliver it. So what my assistant would do is she would go drop it off. You can mail it through FedEx. You can mail it through the post office. You can mail it through Amazon Prime, which I'll share with you guys how to do that. But that was our big $1 million funnel. So what happened was we would build expert authority ahead of time. And what it did is it doubled my sales conversions. See, these are real sales conversations that a lot of people never have a conversation about. And think about it. If you were the homeowner, who would you rather hire? Johnny, your freaking cousin who's sold 3 homes per year, or the person that was an expert? And like I said, this applies to chiropractors, dentists, loan officers, real estate agents, insurance guys. I'm sure I missed a ton, but I just wanted to make sure you guys understand this lesson first. Before I move on off of this topic, for this topic specifically, would anybody like to unmute and ask me a question how to apply this to their business? Not the book writing process. I'm going to do all that. This exact topic, would anybody want some one-on-one help or feedback on implementing this into their business, or any further questions on that exact system that I just broke down for that type of a business? I told you guys, you can go live Q&A. Hi, Sunny, go ahead.
Yes. I'm trying to develop personal development on mindset for business professionals, the elite performance, trying to improve their performance. So how would this apply for me and what I do?
This is a great question. I got book number 2 to share with you. How's that sound? All right. So the cool thing is I've had a journey, guys, in 22 years. I've been at this 22 years. I dropped out of college when I was 19, got into real estate. I sold 2,500 homes. It was insane. Oh, cool. Julie's got a question on this specifically. So Sonny, I'm going to get you, and I'm going to transition into the personal development online coach space with the next 2. But I think Julie's got a question about this specifically. So Julie, what question can I answer for you about this?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
I got you loud and clear.
Great. What I wanted to know is, oh God, I'm getting a terrible echo.
Hey, Julie, remember that echo? We found it. It's on your computer settings, my dear.
So $4 for you to print the book, then you have to buy the box, and then you pay for the postage. So all total, would you say maybe $10 per lead?
Yeah. So $10 per lead-ish. What we would do is drop them off locally. Now, I'm going to share with you a trick that I'll get into at the end, but check this out. Here's what we did finally at the tail end of it. Julie, I'm going to advance the lesson here. This is like insane. Okay, so check this out. So with my second book, Julie, watch this. I got them all printed for $4 or $5, right? And one day I had 50 people, 50 wanted my book. I was like, dude, I'm killing it, right? So Julie, I take my 50 books down to the postal annex right here by my home, okay? And it's in a little shopping plaza. And I walk in and I was like, oh crap, I need envelopes. So I had to buy 50 envelopes, right? And then I had to sit there, and this is the thing that got me. I had to hand address 50 freaking people. And I have a really bad handwriting. And so anyway, yes, you can go to the post office. The post office has something called media mail where you'll get, you're able to mail books for cheaper postage. But what happened for me, and this was a really cool unlock. And so I promise you guys this, I'm just going to share with you everything. So Julie, here's what happened. I think on your first few, it's really cool to run down and FedEx stuff. You could also too, hear me out on this. Like, let's say you have a client that's a state away. What I started doing for the right people, Julie, is I would overnight it. I would FedEx overnight it for like $29 because what did I know? I knew if I had you on Zoom the next day, check this out. Here, I'm going to mute you real fast because we're getting that echo. I knew, Julie, that if I had you on a Zoom call in 1 or 2 days, I would overnight that to your doorstep. I had a guy one time, we're in the middle of our Zoom call, and he literally goes, hey, hold on, man, UPS is here. Oh, I knew why UPS was there. And he comes back in with this gift from me, and he's like, did you send me a book? And I was like, yeah, dude. It was like, it just worked out that it was there at the same time. So you can go sign, seal, and deliver it. For me, it was like $7 and $9 plus the $4, right? And so that was, I was running into that. You can get the bubble mailers on Amazon. Now, I have a really cool unlock because I told you guys this is a masterclass with me. I'm going to give you it all. So Julie, here's what I just started doing. Uploading the book to Amazon. Amazon allows you something called author copies. So you can buy your book at a discount and Amazon will send it to them via Amazon Prime. Oh. So what I did was I actually priced my book a little bit lower than I normally would have. I priced my book at $9.99. So Julie, check this out. I would just hop onto Amazon and buy my own book, then insert their name and address and let Amazon handle the shipping. And they would either get it the next day or 2 days with Amazon Prime. Boom. And what that does is I don't have to go to the post office. I don't have to spend the time. I don't have to have an envelope. Now, do I appreciate, and as you guys are first starting out, it is so special to go down to the post office. And for your first books, whenever you start writing and publishing, dude, take the first 10, go down, get a photo of you at the post office. There's not a cooler feeling in the world. Stuff the envelopes. You will happily write every address with a smile. But after a couple hundred of those, you get a little annoyed. And then you got to systemize this. And so start here and then you can systemize. As you get bigger, there's drop shippers and stuff like that. I think Amazon is goated when it comes to drop shipping. So that's the process there when we get into getting you on Amazon. So Julie, they even have author copies that you can buy at a discount, then add in the address because they assume you as an author are buying your own books or sending them to other people. So hopefully that answered that question for you. Now to Sunny's question, you're so welcome. How does this work when it comes to coaches, speakers, podcast, all the above? Well, let me share with you. This is Maddie. Maddie is a diabetes coach and nutritionist. She's one of my favorite people on this planet. Maddie wanted to help more people with diabetes. Maddie had struggled with that in life. She figured out a really cool system for her life. And so she said, Nick, how do I grow my business? I said, sweetheart, write a book. Now, let me take this a little bit deeper. Maddie wrote and published this book with me and the team. And Maddie was given a speech here in San Diego. I live in San Diego. And I said, hey, I'd love to come see your speech. And what was interesting, guys, and I want you to pay attention to this. And this is the second. So I showed you the offline thing for realtors, loan officers, chiropractors, dentists, all that stuff. Great, cool. Well, a lot of us are in the online space, and this is my progression as a career. I did 15 years in a brick and mortar business, and now we're in online business, world nationwide, and now international. We have clients in the UK and Dubai. And that's the power of social media. So Maddie's given a speech in this room. And I walked in a little bit early, and there was a speaker on stage. And what was interesting was the room was maybe 40% full for this gal on stage. Same data, same knowledge, same topics, but Maddie was packaged differently. See, the event host had figured out that Maddie had written a book. Now, what did I just teach you guys? Give away the secrets for free, sell the implementation. Give away the secrets for free, sell the implementation. So that's option number one there. Well, here's what Maddie wanted. Maddie is a coach. And what does she want? She wants to help and serve more people with diabetes and put a smile on their face. And I think her program at the time was $997. Let me just make things easy. I think that's a little low, but you get the gist of it, right? So here's where that person's at. They're bummed out because they don't have help. They don't have Maddie's book. So here's the second way that I've used books. Okay, so let's just do this. I'm going to put $5 just to make things easy. This book is $5. This book is now a gift. The very first speaker had nothing, no props, no resources. She was on stage, but the show host knew Maddie was going to do this because I told her to. I said, sweetheart, bring a couple hundred copies of your book to the conference. Anybody here a speaker or want to be a speaker? Oh, I'm going to drop some bombs on all of you right now. Okay. Writing a book is the greatest thing you could ever do as a speaker. That was my second book. Let's get back to Maddie. So Maddie had told the show host, per my advice, because this is my $1 million book funnel, I said, sweetie, why don't you bring a copy of a book for everybody in the room, okay? And so let's say there's 200 people in the room at $5 a book, okay? Who here, yeah, oh, awesome, Shane, I love that. So who here would bring $5 a book, 200 people, spend $1,000? Who here would do that right now? Who here would spend $1,000 to walk into a room and have 200 people all holding up your book? What do you think that exposure is worth to you? What do you think that brand is worth to you? So here's what Maddie did, because she's one of my students and you guys are hearing this psychology now. She walked into the room. So the gal before her was like 30, 40% full. Well, the show promoter had used Maddie's book to get people to see the big keynote speech with Maddie. So what happens is I'm in the back, like getting her ready. I was like, hey, let's go. Here's your speech. The cameraman's micing her up. And what happens is all of her friends and family went with her and they're handing out her books to the people coming in the room. That room went from 30% full to standing room only. Why? They had all showed up to get a free copy of Maddie's new book and get a signed copy from who? The expert, the author. Do you see the credibility shift from the first speaker to the second? It was such a big difference. So the room sold out because they're there to get Maddie's book. Yes, do I appreciate she had to put up $1,000 in free books? Would you give away $5 to a human being to have a fan that now tags you on social media, reviews you, and is a potential client? I would take that $5 trade-off all freaking day long. So Maddie did. She got this. Absolutely worth the investment. So what happened? Maddie freaking brings the roof down. I'm in the room watching her give her speech. She absolutely crushes this thing. And here's what happens. She finishes her speech. There is a line for an hour to talk to her. And I know it's an hour because I waited an hour to see my girl and celebrate her. And after an hour's time, I went, let her do her thing. She's crushing it. I'll see her, on the next coaching call. She stood for an hour and a half, 2 hours, taking photos, signing autographs, meeting people, greeting people, loving people up. Do you know the only difference from her speech to the previous speech? Same thing. It was the same speech. She had just repackaged it up as the trusted authority. So for you coaches, you online businesses, we have a couple full-time speakers. I will never walk into a room to give a speech without what? My book laying on all the chairs. Always. So really cool story for you guys. I don't know if I have the photo. Hold on. It'd be cool if I could find this, man. 1 second, guys. I think it's worth me trying to see if I could track it down. There's a photo of me giving my book out in front of 500 people. So I had wrote this second book right here, Scale. And we put it on chairs at one of my big conferences. And it was really funny. This young man, your book is your brand. Yeah. So this young man runs up to me. I had just published this and I wasn't used to having a book about coaching, right? This is a book about my system, how we did an 8-figure business. And this young dude, so we break for lunch and we put books on all the chairs. I'm coming back in to get ready for the afternoon set. And this kid runs up to me. I want you to imagine this moment for yourself. And he goes, hey, will you sign this? And I looked at him and I was like, sign what? And he goes, I want your autograph. And I looked at him and I was like, yeah. I was like, what do I say? Have a great summer. Like I was signing a yearbook, And it was interesting as we went on stage, gave away the book. Before I got off stage, we had closed the sale. Why? It was the same data. It was just repackaged differently. So for coaches, consultants, like let me go through a couple others here, right? Like if you're in the online space, here's a couple guys that are in the online space. This is Kevin. He does blue collar business coaching and CRMs. They do like go high level and stuff. And so for you, as a coach, a diabetes coach, nutritionist, writing your book for your offline speeches, game over. Absolute game over. The second thing, okay? Oh, so real quick, before I leave, I'm trying to give you guys everything I got. For you speakers, I bake this in as my speaking fee. So oftentimes if somebody's like, yo, Nikki T, will you come give a speech? Watch this. What do I want, guys? I don't want the freaking speaking fee. I want 25 people in my program, right? This is what I want. So if somebody calls me up and says, yo, Nick, will you come on stage? I might say this. Hey, I'd love to. Here, I'll waive my speaking fee. Here's what I just need you to do. How many people are attending? 500. Great. I need you to buy a book for everybody in the room and cover my flight and hotel. And so oftentimes they'll do that because now everybody's got a book for their swag bag, right? So you professional speakers, I refuse to walk on stage without one of my books on all chairs. Why? Because the room turns over. Does that make sense? It's instant credibility. So the people coming out already see you as the published author. And then when you're done, You'll be at a booth taking photos, signing copies. I had this guy run up to me. He goes, hey man, I read your book. And I was like, thank you. And he goes, that like changed my life. And I was like, I appreciate you. He goes, yeah, dude, it was weird. I was on an airplane. I read it cover to cover and now I get to meet you. And I was like, well, that was interesting. What did I say? Books are immersion and immersion equals conversion. He had read my marketing system before he even met me. He had already made a conscious decision that he wanted to work with me, which leads me to the second way that we use our books. Okay. So the second way that I use my book, watch this. You guys are going to follow the bouncing ball. Who here, when you opted in for this workshop, went and downloaded my book? Who here got the book ahead of time? I sent you guys all the book ahead of time. So for those that don't have it, I'll drop my new book in the chat right now. I'm going to put Triumphant Book in the chat. You guys can go download the first 11 chapters. It's not the full book. We have 8 more coming, which I'm really stoked about. This is my new book. So the second way to use a book in my $1 million book funnel is to use this as a digital download. So you guys right now are going to go through that website and get a digital download of my book. I'll show you guys what it looks like. It's actually really cool. So the second way, as like a coach, a speaker, a personal trainer, anybody that's in the online space, it's huge. Check this out. So these are called book funnels, my friends. And let me just show this to you real fast. So what you can do is you can take your book and you can give this away online. So you guys are all going to go get a digital download right now. And so what a book funnel looks like is this. So while I'm here with you guys, while I'm living my life out surfing, hanging with my dog, people can go download a digital copy of my book. And so my software emails them the book through a book funnel. And so another way for an online coach to start marketing and promoting their books is through online downloads, through lead magnets. And so I want you to imagine for a second, if you are a coach, a personal trainer, I mean, this applies to any business for that matter, right? It doesn't even have to be the offline ones. I'll just turn everybody into an online business right now. You as a marketer, you as a coach, insurance agent could say this, hey, I'm looking to help you. I would love to just give you a free copy of my book. Do you guys know how much money it costs me to email you a copy of my book? And this isn't a trick question. In the chat right now, do you know how much money it costs me to email you a PDF? Yeah, thank you, Julie. Julie's dialed in. It costs $0. Free 99, baby. I love that, David. So what's happening? Books are immersion. Immersion equals conversion. I just got tagged in this photo. It was the craziest thing. A gal was like, Nikki, I just read your book. And she took a screenshot of it. And I was like, that is so freaking rad, dude, that people are digitally reading my story and my journey, right? So I want you to imagine, let's say you're getting ready to do a one-on-one consultation with somebody. Could you send them the book ahead of time and say, hey, I just emailed you over my book. I want you to read this ahead of time. And this is the thing that I need you guys to understand. Everybody just kind of do this with me, kind of do like a little meter, right? I need you to think like they're thinking about working with you. Are you the person that can help me? Are you honest, trustworthy, blah, 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 blah. So what I'm trying to do is get people to go through as much data up front before I show up. Anybody done like thousands of sales calls and know how crappy it is to get on a Zoom with somebody who's like, what do you got? Homie, I don't sell anybody anything. I work with my friends that want to change their lives. Go read my book. Now check this out. I'm going to really go bonkers on you guys. I know ahead of time if somebody is serious about changing their life. So I want you to imagine something real quick. Let's say you're a personal trainer. Simple analogy. You got personal trainer books here, right? To find out if somebody's committed or not. Hey, brother, I'm going to see you on Thursday. But beforehand, I want you to read chapter 5. We're going to discuss it. Now, what do I know? When I get to the sales call, hey, did you read chapter 5? I know up front, are you serious or are you just playing this game? So I can use a book to create so much rapport, so much trust. I can give it away digitally. Now I'm going to really, really, really mess with you guys. You could take your book and run this as a paid ad. You could run this as a giveaway. You could run this as a lead magnet to get more leads. I did that last week. I generated 368 leads last week to one of my ebooks. 368 leads in one day to one of my ebooks. I'm going to keep going because I'm flowing and I'm trying to hit all these other businesses. I had a guy have me on his podcast one time and we get on the show and he's like, hey man, I've been excited to have you on. I read your book. So we go through the podcast. It's a great show. We finish it and he goes, yeah, dude, I only have unpublished authors. I was like, wait, what? And he goes, well, yeah, what I do is I read your book ahead of time. So I'm up to speed with who you are. And then I knew that you were a legit dude. So I wanted you on the show. I said, wow, that's cool. So for some of you guys that are like trying to get matched on podcast, you could overnight them a copy of your book. You could have your book on Amazon. You could send this to them. You could send this to people for collabs, for partnerships, for brand deals. Is this starting to make sense?
Isn't it?
There we go. Is this starting to make sense for everybody? Like, are you guys getting this concept? Like how big this is? So you could literally go run a marketing ad to everybody in your target market to get your insurance book, to get your commercial real estate book, to get your coaching book, to get your self-development book. Now, I haven't even got into selling the book yet. Why? What I believe in is a book funnel. Like I showed you guys, that's a live funnel of mine. Triumph a Book is a real funnel of mine. This book is a self-development book. Now, what do I want? I want to give away as many copies of this as I can. I have a goal. It's a wild goal. It's an audacious goal, but I have a goal to give away 1 million copies of this book because it truly helps people. This book is in prisons now. Like, how cool is that? A girlfriend of mine, she goes, hey, Nikki, I grabbed a bunch of copies of your book from your last conference. They're in a men's prison now. The dudes are reading your 30-day challenge. Now that leads me to like the third reason why I wrote a book. So you guys heard about the marketing for a real estate business. You saw me as a business coach and a consultant. That's why I wrote this book. And then this leads me to this. This is personal development. I wrote a book that's a self-help book. Why? I want to change lives. I feel that's what God put me here to do. So I wrote this book to be sold on Amazon for $19.99. And this is a completely different strategy. Selling your book for $19.99 as an entry-level product. Amazon worldwide, people buying my book. I have a vision of 1 million people reading this book and this changing lives. See, a lot of people don't know this about me, and you guys will learn now that we're friends. 8 years ago, I had a tumor on my spine and I was paralyzed from the waist down. Changed my life. Thought it was going to ruin my life. I'm supposed to be in a wheelchair. I had a great surgeon and God. I am God's miracle, walking, talking miracle because of my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And when I was laying in the ICU for 2 weeks, not knowing if I would walk again, thinking I was going to be wheelchair bound, you go through a lot, and you go through a lot of depression. I went through addiction. I've battled a lot of things in my life, and I've had to overcome them. That's why the book's called You Are Triumphant. When you guys read this, you'll learn about how your story matters. You'll learn about my 30-day challenge. This book, if I get emotional, I do, because you guys have no idea how hard that experience was for me. And what I found when I started sharing my story is a lot of you guys have very similar stories. So I'll go into the marketing side of things, and I love all of that. But I also believe that some of us were here to share our stories because our stories matter. I believe that you can be the light in somebody's darkness. I believe that your mess can become your mission. I believe that your pain can become your purpose. So yes, I wrote the real estate book and a consulting book. This is the one, this is my pride and joy. This is my baby. The reason you have the first 11 chapters is I knew the data was so good. I had to start giving it out before it was finished because I knew that there would be lives touched in the process. We have dudes that have gotten sober because of this book, found God because of this book, changed their lives because of this book, lost 80 pounds because of this book. And that's just the first 11 chapters because I chose to just give it away and give it away and give it away and give it away. Now, do I see a world where I'm selling this on Amazon and Kindle? I do. Do I see a world where I'm an Amazon bestseller? I do. And that is a third strategy that I'll get into for you guys as we're talking about marketing, promoting your books. You can use Amazon to sell your book. You can use Kindle. You can have an Audible version of your book, and you can be on Audible and you can speak it out. All the things that we traditionally think about book authors, right? That's that traditional route. And so I'm really proud that I've got to do all across the scope, right? The offline stuff, the online stuff, and now we're moving into that world. You could sell the book on your website. You could give away the book. You could sell it on Amazon. And so if you are somebody that does have a story to share and you want to be a speaker, a podcast, a host, a coach, that's what this is. And that's kind of the culmination of my 22-year career, right? Started as the brick and mortar CEO real estate guy, became a high-end business consultant. People pay me a lot of money to run their marketing, to run their ads, consult on their businesses. And now we're transitioning into this inspirational speaker side of me, which is I'm just so grateful for. All glory to God, man. And so that is the other side of that, is you writing a self-help book and telling your story and selling that on Amazon. So I promise you guys right out the gates, I would give you my $1 million marketing funnel offline. I gave it to you online. Now, this is not a $1 million funnel yet. It's brand new. It's not even finished, right? But we've given away thousands of copies. And this is really where we get to change some lives. So that is how you actually use a book. Now, you can include this in your podcast. You can include this in your Instagram. You can include this on your social media. Are you guys starting to see how powerful a book can be for you? So here's what I would love to hear from you guys before we move on. I want a couple of you guys to unmute. What have you learned so far? Let's do this. Let's just slow down real fast. So what happens is I pour, like we're in front of a freaking fire hose, and then we're gonna stop. I want to hear from you guys. If you want to just wave at me or raise your hand using the raise your hand feature, I'd love to hear from you so far. And in the chat, if you want to drop this too, what are some of your biggest takeaways? Or more importantly, how are you going to use the book? Let's go. I'd love to hear from you guys. Mike said the book is a magnet for sales and credibility. I love this. Somebody unmute. Let's get somebody. Let's get some energy up in here. Somebody unmute and talk to me. Is that quiet today? Really? You guys are allowed to come talk to people. I promise you this, if you have something to share. Hi, go ahead, Sunny. What have we learned so far? Or how are you going to use the book?
Well, how powerful it is to give you credibility as the authority in whatever areas you're talking about.
Absolutely.
That and then too, I guess in your book you can lead into that you have other products and services for them. But yeah, just I'm in the beginning of stages of doing what I'm doing, and I'm also putting together personal self-development. I was in a terrible accident years ago, so I can see, and it was my mindset that changed that brought me out of that tunnel of darkness into the light. And so I can see, how powerful having a book is if it's done in the right way and you use it properly as as a lead magnet or just to give credibility and authority. So thank you.
Spot on. Brilliant. Yeah, Sonny, a couple cool things too. You can add QR codes in the book. So you could have at the end of each chapter, check this out, guys. I told you I'm going to share everything. At the end of each chapter, you could have a video attached to each chapter. You could have a call to action with a QR code that they go download a checklist or schedule a call with you, get a consultation with you, go to the next step, watch your webinar, subscribe to your show. And what's crazy is books, we say books have legs. Dude, they just get up and run away. And I'm like, how did you get that book? And they're like, oh, a friend of a friend. I'm like, all right, cool, man. Let's go. We had a couple of really good comments I want to share. Sierra said, my biggest takeaway, and I joined late. Oh, no problem. Done is better than perfect. Your newest book is done, not completely finished, and it's changing lives. Yeah. Thank you for picking that up, my dear. Yeah, it was so funny. I was getting ready to give a speech, and I called the publisher on a Friday, and I go, hey, where are we at? And she goes, 11 chapters. I was like, ship it. And she goes, wait, what? It's not done. I go, I know. I'm going to tell them it's not. It's funny. When you get to the end, it just stops. And I was like, well, I'm very aware of this, but this will help. And it was so crazy, Sierra. I gave it out. And in it, we talk about a 30-day challenge of like letting your past go and stepping into this new version of you, which I get to do with you guys today before we leave. And a guy decided that he had been drinking too much. And I just got tagged. And it's been 10 months since that, I think. And he was like, hey, I'm 10 months sober. Thanks, Nicholas, for the speech and the book. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. So like getting something out there is so powerful. I love that. Jeff said how important having the credibility of writing a book is for creative authority. I can't stress this enough, man. And you lean on the book to do the heavy lifting for you. Who here feels it's awkward to be like, hey, I'm really cool and I'm awesome? Like it's awkward. But a book just says, hey, I'm really cool and I'm awesome and I love you and I care about you without even saying it, right? It's like, oh yeah. Hey man, you want a copy of my book? Wait, what? Yeah, it's pretty cool. David said, already working on my new webinar to generate more leads. I can use this to make a book at the same time and create authority. You can. Hey, David, don't let me forget to share with you how to use AI for that. I'll do that real quick. We got a question here. What if people get the book and don't read? Totally makes sense, Samir. Fortunes in the follow-up. So we use the book as a lead generation machine, and then we send future emails and future workshops and future events. And so not everybody's going to read the book. That's that I know I've delivered it to you. And so I can use, like, if you look at my funnel right here, dog. So the one I gave you, people go on this. Well, like, they're going to go into my email list. We can email them future workshops, future trainings, future offers, right? And so we use this as a lead generator, as a lead magnet. So we just ask for their email address to grow my email list, which is really cool. So that's exactly what would happen there, my friend. See, I don't expect everybody to read the book. What I'm trying to do, my friend, is I'm trying to get you on my email list to email you future offers or events and stay in touch with you in the fortunes and the follow-up. So this is great, man. Have you guys learned something so far? Learning stuff so far? Hey, drop me a little emoji in the chat. How are you feeling so far? How are you feeling so far? I absolutely love that. Hey, Julie, you can have it for free. Grab that link and send it to your friend. You have my gift. You are literally allowed to give this for free. David says, I'm pumped. Awesome, Nanette. Let's freaking go. So I told you guys you'll learn something. Have we learned something in the first hour? Let's go. All right, cool. So stage one, teach you guys how to use a book. We did that, mission accomplished. Next is going to get into the how, like the down and dirty details. This is where a lot of the questions that Jeff, motivated. Here's where I get to share with you guys some of the cool stuff that I've learned about the process. So I'm not a book publisher. I'm a guy that went through this process on my own, okay? And I'm going to share with you guys what I learned. Now, just to clarify, like, it's funny, we had like book publishers like apply to be here today and like, oh no, I do it differently. I know you do it differently. That's why you're you. I do it differently. Just so you guys know, everything I do, comes with a giant red beard, a whole lot of love, Jesus Christ, and punk rock music. Okay. That is my flavor. I am a surfer from San Diego. Like, that's who I am. I say, brother, like that, like, it's okay. This is my process. And I'll tell you what, my process works pretty damn well. So they have their process, I have mine, right? And it's so funny whenever, well, Nick so-and-so says, I know that's what so-and-so says. This is what Nick says. And this is what Nick did. And this is what Nick is doing. And this is how Nick published all of these books for all of these people. So it works. So I'm going to share with you guys my process, okay? So here's my process. The big question I get asked, and I thought this forever, is how do I find a book publisher? Who here has already thought that? Like, how do I find a book publisher and track a book publisher down? So let me just share with you guys what I have learned about this whole beautiful process. So traditionally, I thought like I wrote a book and I went down to like New York City, you know, like we see in the movies, like in Elf when they're like writing cartoon books. I thought I had to like go like publisher to publisher and like sell my story. Then I thought they like gave me an advance on the book's royalty. Anybody think that? And then like I pictured it was me in like a cabin in the woods with it snowing and like a tweed sweater on me on like a typewriter. Like, so there I was. There was a crackle in the fire, like Stephen King. That's what I thought the author that are business owners, we choose to self-publish our books. And I'm going to explain to you guys the difference, and I'm going to explain to you guys the whole process, and you can make a decision that you would like. So traditionally, you used to go find a big publisher. A lot of the bigger books that you see are from traditional publishers like Tony Robbins and stuff like that. And what happens is the publisher will go publish your book, but what they want in return is royalties off the book. They want to make money every time you sell a book. So the best way I could put this is this. We got any Swifties on the fan? Any Swiftie fans on the call today? Like Taylor Swift, right? So traditionally, Michael Jackson, right? Motley Crue. Any bands before they got known would go sign with what? A record label. And then the record label would produce their music and what? They would want a cut. And they would get a cut of every record sale, a cut of every merchant sale, a cut of the tours and the whole bit. Well, now all the artists realized it's their likeness, it's their data, it's their story, it's them on tour. So a lot of people are becoming self-published. So Taylor Swift just bought back her catalog. So you see a lot of them becoming self-published now. A lot of new musicians are getting found from TikTok and on Spotify. So a lot of them are self-published. And so a lot of people get assigned with a big publishing company. They expect you to do all the work and give them a cut of it on the backside. Who here would like to go hawk all of their stuff all around town, and every time you sell a book, you pay somebody $2? Who here wants to do that? I don't want to do that. That's actually what happened on my very first book, and I'll share with you guys my process. So I had paid a book publisher to publish this book, okay? It cost me $6,000 to publish this book. He was taking $2 for every book that I bought as well in perpetuity. I gave him thousands of dollars in royalties to put my book together. I didn't like that. I didn't like the fact that every time I bought a book, I had to give him $2. Who here that doesn't sit well with? It didn't sit well with me. I didn't want people to own my name, own my data, own my likeness. I didn't want anybody to have rights to me or my book. That's who I am. So you see a new wave of authors self-publishing. This is what I'm going to highly encourage all of you to do. Becoming self-published means you publish your book, you own the rights to your book, you collect all the royalties, you can buy it, sell it, ship it, send it, do with it what you please. Now, what's really wild, anybody heard of this little website? It's kind of newer. This guy named Jeff invented it. It's called Amazon. Anybody heard of this before? So here's what's wild. When Jeff Bezos created Amazon, it was meant to be an online bookstore first. And really think about that. Go back, there's some really cool movies about it. He created Amazon to be an online bookstore and compete with Barnes & Noble online. So Amazon has something, and I need you guys to pay attention to what I'm going to say right now. This is where we get into the weeds of stuff. They have something called Amazon KDP. It's Kindle Direct Publishing. Everybody put Amazon KDP in the chat. Amazon KDP to make sure you get the story here. And so Amazon KDP is this, my friends. Amazon KDP is a way for you to publish your book on Amazon. Do you know how much Amazon KDP costs you? $0. So what has to happen is you have to write your book, and then you give it to Amazon, and Amazon will put it on Amazon and print it and ship it and have it there. And what's really cool is Amazon doesn't take your book and print like 25,000 copies and store them in a warehouse. What they do is they use your book as an online shopping cart. And when somebody buys it, they print and send a book. It was the coolest thing ever. We took this book and we put this on Amazon. And I hopped on and I bought my book for the first time and I sent it to myself and it went Amazon Prime. Dude, 2 days later, there's a box in my door. You know the Amazon box with like the blue tape on it? I'm an Amazon holic. And I open up the box and there was my book in it. I sent one to my mom and she goes, hey, Nikki, I got an Amazon box here, but why is your book in it? I said, Mom, I'm on Amazon now, babe. It was crazy. Now, here's what happens if you go that route. You can buy your own author copies, but because you own the rights to it, you could have it on Amazon, but you could sell it offline on your own. So if you self-publish, you could sell it on your website for $19.99. You could give it away. You could hand it away, anything. If you sell it on Amazon, they take a cut to do the process for you. They got to cover the print. They got to ship it. And I think it's like 30 and 40%. I think it's, if you do Kindle, they take 30%, you get 70. If you print it, they get 40%, whatever this is, but it's on Amazon. And now you use them to print it, ship it, send it. It's powerful, my friends. And you could set it at $19.99, $29.99. You could sell it on Kindle, have it on Audible. And what's really cool is when somebody buys your book, you get a royalty. And you literally get royalty checks deposited in your account. It's the sickest thing ever. Being $9, $18. I absolutely love that as a process. So my system is this. What I highly recommend you do, and it's not perfect, it's my way, is self-publishing your book. And I'll explain how to do that here in a second. And then uploading it to Amazon KDP. So you own the rights to your book offline. I self-published both of these. These are my books, dude. Ain't nobody own me. I own them. I could give them away. I could give them away for free. I could sell them for $100 should I want to. I could have it on Amazon. So I have them on Amazon and then I use them offline as well. Love this. Why I go this route is I have a printer that prints my books and then we use Amazon for the online sales. They both work out great. We have it on Kindle. That's how I've chosen to do it. Now, what has to happen if you go that route is this. You then have to self-publish the book. So welcome to a masterclass where I'm going to overshare because I believe that you guys all deserve it. So when you actually break down the elements of a book, okay, let me break down elements for you so you know how to self-publish. What we need the book written. Who here feels that like they're really good at their data? Like, you know your stuff. Like, Nick, I could write the book if I had to. Like, I understand my system. That's what I did. So I wrote the book on a bunch of Word documents. And a lot of you guys even being on here probably already have your book written and ready to go. Just real quick, before I forget, I want to give you as much as I know. A really good book should be 100 pages, okay? So this one right here is like 77 pages. So the next 8 chapters, it'll be about here. This book is 180. So a really good book should be 100 pages, in my opinion. Anything less than that, it's a little too small. Like this is 77. It's a little too small. You could get by with this. Word count for that is going to be 20,000 words or give or take. 20,000 words. That's a really good 8 to 10 chapter. 8 to 10 chapters, 1,000 words each, 1,500 words each. That's the book. So how do you write the book? How do you put the book together? Well, what do we need, my friends? They're all just elements. So let me just share with you guys elements of the book. And this, again, I know this is where we get technical, but I want to make sure I share it with you guys. It's all being recorded. So what are the elements to publish a book? I need a front cover. I'm going to give you guys some of my tools. If I were you right now, today, when this masterclass is over, I would run over to ChatGPT and I would make a cover image. And I would have ChatGPT or Claude make you a cover image for your book. That's where I would start with everybody. And when you make a cover image for your book, it starts to bring your book to real life. So I would absolutely start there today as your very first piece of homework. The next thing that we need is a back cover. So we need a front cover and a back cover. Again, the way that social media works, or excuse me, the way that AI works is ChatGPT can actually make a lot of this stuff for you right now. And so I'm going to teach you guys how to write and publish with AI. So you could have ChatGPT make you a front and a back cover. You could have somebody on Fiverr do it, somebody on Upwork do it. You could have somebody use Canva. I'm fine with all of it. So we need a front cover, a back cover. We need our Word documents written. And then all you need to do is put this together in an outline. And all this becomes is a giant PDF. It's just a PDF in order of a cover. It's got your table of contents. And what's really cool too, you guys can publish for free on Amazon KDP. They have all the tools for you. They have the layouts, they have the formatters. It's all free for you, which is really cool. And so my logic says, well, I'd rather just go through the process and get this all created myself than I own the rights to it. And so what happens is when you self-publish, It's now your book. You now have the PDF version to do with it what you choose. Now, I know this gets a little confusing, and this is why we're going to do Q&A. Let me just pause for a second. I know I threw a lot of data at you guys. Who here has some questions for me so far? Feel free to ask it. I'm wide open right now. Questions on the publishing process? Anybody want to go? Yeah, go ahead.
I do.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
So you're saying that we could actually have our front cover, back cover, and our PDF that would include those two items, the spine, everything, and then our whole outline, all the Word documents. Once we're done, then we just send that to a printer, or
Yes.
we send that to the Amazon link that you're talking about.
Beautiful, both. Yeah, so Amazon says, hey, give me your book. And all a book is, my dear, it's just a PDF. So you have to understand the way that any book printer works. It's really cool. They send it through their machines, and then this book like comes out on the other end. It's wild. It's print on demand. And so all Amazon needs from you is really this PDF. They give you the tools to make it happen. And then the other question was, well, like, do I just send this to a local printer? Yeah. You go find somebody that'll print a book for you, and you send them the book. Like when I say this, people are like, wait, what? That's it? Yeah, my friend. Like, and so people will charge you 25 grand for what I just told you. Like, that's the wild thing. I'm a business coach. I want to see you win. I want to help you get on stages. I want to see you run ads. So I understand the whole other side of this, right? So for me, the faster you can get a book done, the better, because I'm not a book publisher. That's what's wild. Whenever I teach this class, people are like, you're giving me all this. I'm like, I am, because I want to see you win. This is me. No, I really don't gatekeep, my friend. Why? Because I want to see you get published, right? And so what you can do though, my dear, if you don't want to do this process on your own, Amazon KDP has all the tutorials in the world that'll show you what to do. And I taught this before even ChatGPT existed. Some of you guys could go create a book cover right now in the next 2 minutes, and you'd be like, that's the coolest damn thing I've ever seen. I know, it'll be wild. ChatGPT is insane, or Claude. Now, what you could also do is this. There are teams out there that will self-publish for you. There are teams out there that will self-publish for you, okay? Now, here's what I'm going to do. If you guys thought I wasn't gatekeeping before, who here would like my publisher that has self-published all of my books? Who here wants it? Coming up, guys. Here you go. So I love you. I want to see you win. Here we go. Coming in the chat now to market.com. Okay. Coming in hot. And yes, I will get you guys all of this on the replay. Don't sweat it. I got you. This is how things should be done amongst friends. Okay. I'm going to give you a phone number. This is Brad Smith. So check this out. There you go, my friends. So in the chat is author to market and Brad Smith. Author to market and Brad Smith. Brad Smith is my contact over there. He's published all 3 of these books for me. So funny, the publisher that I paid used Brad. So Brad and his team have a self-publishing package. I'm not here to sell anything. You guys know that, right? They have a package that's like 2 to 3 grand. And so if you don't want to go through the process themselves, here's what I did last time is I called them up. So check this out. This is wild. I called them up and Brad put me on a call with his designer, Christy. Christy Whalen designed my book cover. So they are a professional self-publishing team and a printer. So pretty cool. So some of you guys can go do it yourself. Go through the process on your own. Use Amazon KDP. That is $0. $0 to do it. What has to happen? You got to trade some time. You got to trade some energy. I appreciate all that. You got to figure it out. The other side of that is you could just get a hold of Brad and his team. So Christy Whalen made my book cover. She made my back cover. I wrote all the chapters. Then she edited it and formatted it. Now what that looks like is this. I just had to write my chapters. They built my book. They are the printer and they put me on Amazon. Who here thinks that that's worth 3,000 bucks? I did. I thought that I was like, wait, traditionally this is 25 grand, 3,000 bucks. And then they become my printer. Oh, heck yeah, dude. And so to me, that's the best of both worlds. Yeah, I do right there. Like that seems worth it. And so if you guys call Brad, say, hey, I was on Nikki T's Masterclass. He said, you're the man. Now, can you go free? Yeah, you can go do it on your own. I'm cool with that too. I just chose, I didn't want to mess with this for 3 weeks. So I just had them do it. There's a book called Buy Back Your Time by Dan Martell, which I absolutely love. And that's that, I just bought back that time right there. So you guys got all of my tools, all of my resources. So that's self-publishing, man. and then you own the rights to it, and they give you back the PDF and you own it. It's funny, like right here in the copyright, it's got my name, and I'm like, copyright Nicholas Trevillian. Damn straight it is. Like, that's mine, baby. Yeah, he's got Dan Martell's book right there. That's really cool, man. Really, really cool. So guys, before we continue on with the rest of today, like I said, you get the live Q&A. I want to meet everybody where they're at. Does any, boom, let's roll. Here's your chance. Dig in right now. Who's got questions? Yeah, they set you up. They will literally set you up on Amazon, my dear, and start collecting payments for your. It's guys, I've streamlined this whole process. That's what I did. And so I called Christy up and I said, okay, can I share with you guys a really passionate story? So I got this idea to write this book, and I want to share with you guys something that I call the 5-minute rule. And I'm going to extend yours to maybe a 60-minute rule. But I have a thing called the 5-minute rule. And what the 5-minute rule simply is this. Whenever I get an idea, I have to take action on it within 5 minutes. Why? Because if it was a really good idea and I take action on it, I'm now on momentum. So I want to share with you guys a story. I'm hiking Sunset Cliffs here in San Diego. I get an idea to write You Are Triumphant and tell my story about my accident, my tumor, and go help a ton of people. So what's the 5-minute rule? I have to take action on something. I'm on the walk. I literally, while we're walking, I call Christy Wayland, which is Brad's cover designer. And I'm all sweaty. I got my headphones in. I'm like, hey, Christy. She's like, hey, Nick, what's up? And I was like, I got an idea for a new book. And she goes, what is it? I was like, it's my life story. You Are Triumphant. And she goes, you want me to get started? I said, yeah, could you get started on the book cover? I said, here's what I want it to be. I want a photo of me over the ocean like this. So I'll share with you guys why. When I left the hospital, I couldn't stand up and they wheeled me out in a wheelchair, and I kind of like did this in front of the hospital doors. And it was me embracing my new life and future and standing up. So I've been taking these photos all across the oceans everywhere I go. So anyway, I took this here in San Diego and I described to her the book cover. Guys, 2 days later, Brad's team, she sent me this back, this exact cover. She goes, hey, I made your cover for you. I started crying my eyes out like a little baby, and I ain't even trying to be shy about it. I was bawling because what happened was my book came to life. If you don't hear anything from me or take action on anything, the 5-minute rule I would say is go make your book cover. Go make your book cover. And you can either have a team like Brad and his team do it, or you can do it on your own in ChatGPT, Claude, or whatever you want to use. You can use it on Canva, okay? And so what I want you to do is go make the book cover today, because I'll promise you this, it made it real. If you are committed to this, I want to hear from you in the chat and just say, I'm committed to making my book cover today. Or yeah, there you go. I love this. So you can use ChatGPT or Claude, or you could get a hold of Brad and his team and have Christy make it if you don't want to do it. So I gave you the free version, and I'll give you a paid version if you want a team to do it, if you're committed to this. I promise you this, my friends, where I start everybody in the book writing process is if you get the cover done, it becomes real. Does that make sense to everybody? If you get the cover done, it becomes real for you. Yeah, Claude is a beast. Yes, Nanette's like, hey, it's done. Yeah, that's how fast AI can knock out your book cover, and then it starts to get real. Now, what you could do from there to take really on the next step, you could go post that on social media right now. I'm going to really mess with you guys. You could take that book cover and say, hey, I'm committed. I'm going to write my book by August. Here's my book. Let's freaking roll. Like, what could that do to start getting you leads and clients today? You see how powerful this is? So my friends, I want to make sure I wrap this up, and then I'm going to let you guys go with some action steps and identity. All right, cool. So there was a couple questions I don't want to miss. Tips on including a free video course in the book to capture more leads and emails. Shane, brilliant. A QR code at the beginning or end of each chapters, right? So Shane, hit me if you're with me. Tell me what you do, and then I'll map it. But I'll go general. What you could do at the end of each chapter is say, hey, so a video where I break down this system, scan this QR code, or go to shanestips.com. So you could have all of these videos associated with the book. So peep this out. I'm going to really like blow your mind. You could have in the very first page of the book, like, hey, I've recorded an online course that goes simultaneously with this. I've recorded a workbook with this. And you, like in the very first page, could have them scan that QR code to go opt in and become a lead, which would be really, really sick, dude. I think that'd be huge for you. Susan said, if I order a book on Amazon KDP, can I list 10 different recipient addresses and they'll ship it to them individually? I'm not sure about that. I just do one-off. right now. So like what I do is I'll just hop on Amazon and I'll just buy it as if I'm them, because I get 70%, whatever it is on it. And then I'll just buy it and ship it to their doorstep and use Amazon Prime, or you can do author copies there. And so I don't know if you can do 10 at a time. I'm not that fancy yet. You might be able to figure out if you can at all. Do they promote your book, or is there a training for that? So Julie, Amazon has ways to promote your book. I am a meta ads guy. So like we ran ads for this. I am a marketing guy. I am a social media guy. I did 368 leads in one day to one of my books last week, right? So I am a huge social media ads guy, TikTok, YouTube, podcast. So go through anything that I have out there. It's all marketing. A lot of people see me as the meta ads guy, and then I show up and I drop this bomb of a training on you. You're like, damn, dude. And so if you go to my YouTube channel, you'll learn all about lead magnets and how to market them and how to run Facebook ads and all that stuff. Now, Amazon does have a package where like you can pay them to like put you up and sponsor your posts and all that stuff. If you want to sell it, totally cool. I will share with you guys this, the downside of Amazon is you don't get the customer's information. So for all of us that are marketers can understand this. If somebody buys your book on Amazon, you don't get their name, phone, or email address. That's the one downside. So a lot of guys that do what I do, just so you guys know, just straight up on today's masterclass, I don't want my book sold on Amazon. I want it sold through one of my funnels, or I want it bought through one of my funnels or given away through one of my funnels, because I capture name, email address, and phone number, because we sell high ticket coaching. So I don't want to sell $19.99 books. So if you fall into that business model, I would highly advise get your book on Amazon so we have the credibility of it to say my book's on Amazon. And yeah, random people will buy it here or there. What I'm really trying to do is get you into my funnel, into my ecosystem, and then upsell you into other programs and products from there. Just so like a real straight up conversation, right? Jeff said, I'm not a marketer or designer. How do I know if it's a good book cover? If you like it or not, man. Like if it's your heart and soul. I will share this with you guys. I personally believe incorporate a cover that you absolutely love. I'll share with you guys the most passionate story ever. So Jeff, this is Sherry Espinosa. She's a real estate agent in Phoenix, Arizona. Do you see that little children's drawing on it? Her daughter drew that. So Sherry was a single mom when she first started in real estate. And her daughter drew this little thing in math about her mom being a realtor. 1 house plus 4 houses equals, anyway. And so she named her book Story Problems and then used that drawing of her daughter. Now, fast forward, I was there at her book launch. She did it at the country club where she was previously a single mom waiting tables and bartending before she got into real estate. And then she held the book launch there with hundreds of people, and her clients came, and her daughter was grown with her own baby now. And it was just this special full circle moment. For me, Jeff, I don't want a corporate cover. You saw me get emotional when I talked about that. That is my life story right there. Me chasing my dreams and stuff like that. And so we wrote a cover that I felt represented my brand. And to take this story a little bit further, my friend, you're the one going to be holding the book the rest of your life, handing this to your kids or your grandchildren, marketing this, holding this on stage. So do you see how I kind of even change when I'm holding this? And so for you, Jeff, I would create something inside of this that represents who you are, that you feel really, really good about. Now, if you don't want to do the tech side of it, if you go meet with Brad and his team, yeah, I would say that seems very corporate-y. If you see some of Dan's stuff, you hear the stories of him emotionally trying to make his dad proud. And like, there's so many emotional stories there. I understand what he did. I get it, right? Like that, the 4-hour work week, that's brandable to millions of people. I'm fine with that. He can have that. I wanted this. Jeff, when we wrote this one, that's what I went with. I went with that. I have one of those. Yeah, there's money on it. Cool, great, boom. This means more to me than anything on the planet, because that's me not paralyzed anymore. That's me, that's God's miracle, right? And so for me, when I roll out on stage with this, there's just a different emotion there, right? Do I think there's a difference in the corporate cover personally? Yeah, but I'm also at a point in my life where that matters to me. But you could also be like, no, Nick, I would much rather something that's more like Dan's, and go with that. Yeah, totally cool. And then it just means the world to you. And then you could include yourself on the back. That's fine too, right? And so with this one, Jeff, we wanted not me on it, and then we put us on the back. That was the idea, to go heavily on the system of 8 phases to 8 figures and then throw me on the back. And that's fine too. What I would do if I were you, if you don't want to mess with the digital stuff on your own, just get a hold of Christy and Brad, and what they'll do is they'll go through what we're doing right now and they'll flush this out of you. And then she goes and makes it. And dude, like, what's a cover cost you? $400? Like, yeah, I'll totally sit down with a professional book cover designer who's done thousands of these Yeah. And some of you guys are fast with Claude and ChatGPT and knock that out there. I'm kind of a morph of both worlds, right? Where I'm an old school guy and also this crazy, AI guy at the same time. So that's what I would do if I were you. Couple more questions, guys, and then we'll wrap with a cool little exercise. What if the content of your book is very graphic, photo intensive? How does that affect printing costs as an architect? Yeah, totally. So if you go color, it's going to completely change the price. The price will go up like ×5 or something. I could have even butchered that. So if it's more photo intense, just make them black and white, to be honest with you. If you're going to do a book. You could also do more of a book that's more of a brochure. If you're truly trying to show before and afters on some of the scope of work, I can make a case that more of a sleeker, smaller book, you're just going to pay more for the color. Does it make sense? So black and white's always, I think it's a tenth of the price, dude. And so when I'm talking $4, boom. If you're going to write like a full-blown book, I always just say go black and white. Always go black and white. So that way you're not like $30 per book. However, if you're like Mercedes-Benz, you want to pop the red, right? And maybe a smaller brochure, and maybe the brochure costs you 20, 25 bucks to get printed up. Maybe it's a smaller book, but that's going to land you $100,000, $500,000, $1 million job. That would be worth it. It'd be worth $100 a book at that point, right? And so if you start adding in the graphic, I love that, dude. Add in photos, all that stuff. You can also add in photos that are black and white and still tell a story. If it's more of a book. If you're going a brochure, if you're trying to like write a real book, go black and white. If you're trying to create more of brochures, I would absolutely go color because that helps you tell the story, if that makes sense. And I would go less pages, more graphic, and then just know that you're going to suck it up on the color costs. However, we're using this, like think Mercedes, right? We're going to flip this to go get an $80,000 car. Of course, they're going to have a dope ass brochure, right? And I know that brochure is going to cost them a little bit more money and just heavily more on the graphics. Does it make sense? Excellent. Susan said, what do you think about me putting links throughout a book of snippets of music I created it? Yeah, I think that'd be great. Yeah, so you could say, hey, if you like this chapter, here's a song that I personally wrote or produced that goes with this. Absolutely. I love that. Love that. What about the ISBN number for authors? Yeah, so you can go buy your own ISBN number. What I did with Author to Market, they bought one for me. So what a ISBN number is, it's the serial number that comes with your book. International series of book numbers or whatever it is. I think they're $50 or $25 or something like that. And that's when you self-publish it, right? And so that's why I use that team. I'm not a details guy. They bought me an ISBN number and just put it on my book. Let me see, we got one somewhere in here. Yeah, right there, ISBN number, boom. They just put it right there for me. And so Google that. This is the side of things that I don't mess with. I'm the marketing guy, right? And that's why I go to a team. How do I lay out each chapter? How many icon image graphics cost same? Not really sure on like the layout stuff. So KDP is going to have a tool. Like I said, I used a team to lay out my book. So the reason for this, my friend Shane, I got in the layout tool and I was like, dude, I don't want to screw with this for like 2 days. I just want to write my book. And so that's why I paid the team $3,000, right? And so that was fine by me. Cool. Cut the check. All in. I'm done. You could also too go to fiverr.com, fiverr.com, and have somebody outsource it and just say, hey, book cover designer. You can find one on there for a few $100. One thing I would highly encourage you guys to do is not pay an editor. Because of the power of AI, you could have AI edit all of your chapters up. So editing will cost you like $1,000 or more in the publishing process. And so this is one of the things that I do use AI for. You could upload your manuscript to AI and have it proofread and do grammar, which would be really cool. And it'd be really neat to save you a ton of cash that way. Or maybe you're comfortable having somebody edit it. Completely up to you, right? So let me get a couple more and then I'll wrap you guys up. Do I have a website designer for you? So Jeff, I actually do all of my stuff on my own, man. So I design all of those websites through a funnel builder, a marketing funnel builder called Kajabi is what we use. It's for coaches. That's a huge part of what I do is sales funnels and stuff like that, man. And so that's what I'm known for is sales funnels, lead magnets. And so that was the whole art of this class where we started is using this as actually a marketing tool for yourselves, right? And so I believe in funnels. So you've maybe heard of like Go High Level and stuff like that. Those are the tools that we use. And I just use simple funnel builds inside of that in their templates. So I'm not a big crazy website. Yeah, Claude builds websites doing that. Base 44 does. Jeff, Go High Level just came out with an AI funnel builder that'll build book websites for you. So check this out. I'm going to really mess with you. You can grab Dan Martell's website, drop it into Go High Level and say, hey, make me this website. And in 5 minutes, they'll make a website with your name on it, which is really cool. There's some really cool things out there. And so Jeff, I'm not like an HTML guy. I am a marketing guy. And you guys will see this. Like Everything is you marketing your book. Everything is you, yeah, Nanette, go high level. Everything is you marketing your book. Here, because you guys are asking about it, I don't want to hold a damn thing back. All right, so check this out. Let me get you guys some book funnels and stuff too, because I know Jeff just asked about them. All right, so check this out. So if you guys are going to go with Go High Level, here is the best Go High Level out there. I'm going to put Go High Level 14-day trial. Here's one with CRMX. They're the best Go High Level team out there. If you are a coach, use Kajabi. So Jeff, all of my funnels are built in Kajabi. Here's a 30-day free trial. If you're a coach, a personal trainer, all of that, use Kajabi for your books because it comes with email marketing and all that stuff on the backside. So if you guys like the Go High Level stuff, there's CRMX for you. If you're a coach, use Kajabi. My funnel, so like Jeff right here, there's no design, man. This is what they do for coaches. That website that you saw right here, this is Kajabi. And Jeff, what it does is it's a sales funnel builder for coaches. So if you notice this, they'd send them to a thank you page. This is all their templates, dude. And so then they send you a thank you page. There you go. And so that's all Kajabi. And it comes out of the box like that. That's why I use it, because I can knock that out in 15 minutes. It's just color. It's just coloring in the books, dude, which is really cool. Coloring in the blanks right there, if that makes sense for you guys. So there we go, my friends. I told you how to make $1 million book funnel. I did that. I showed you guys how to publish a book. Have we learned something so far in 90 minutes? God dang, dude. All right, cool. Do I have your guys' permission to go 10 more minutes and leave you with a really powerful exercise that'll change your life forever? Is that cool? Can I get a yes in the chat? Yes, 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 yes. Cool. So here's where we're going to get a little, everybody shake it out for me real fast. I know dude, like props to you guys for sticking around 90 minutes. Was it like standing in front of a fire hose? Don't you guys? All right, here we go. We're going to spend a little bit of time right now on identity. And let me just get deep on you guys for a second. Who here feels they want to do this, but they think they're going to get stuck on something? Who here feels like I want to do this, but I want to go crush butt? I want you guys to lean into this right now. And if you're live with me right now, do this. If you're on the replay, crank this sucker up. You guys are going to learn something from me that'll absolutely change your lives forever. This is what I call highest and best version of yourself. It's actually in my book. It's the entire premise of my book. So here's what I want you guys to imagine. Here's where you're at now. And you're not super happy because you don't have a book yet, okay? And here is you up here. And this is you super stoked because you have a book in your hands and you got a ton of money and a ton of followers and all the above. Here's what I want to ask you. What does that version of you look like? And I really lean into this with me right now. This will change your life forever. Forget the book funnels and making money. Forget how to write the book. I need you to lean in what we're going to talk about right now. What does the highest and best version of you look like? What does he or she look like? How do they walk? How do they talk? Would the highest and best version of you just automatically cut the check right now to hire the book team and just be done with this in 3 weeks? Would the highest and best version of you start writing your book right now today? Yes. Would the highest and best version of you knock the book cover out right now? Yes. Let me ask you this. Would the highest and best version of you go to social media right after this and film a video declaring that you're writing a book in the next 60 days and you want to know who wants the first copy? What would the highest and best version of you do right now? And I want you to describe this version of you. How would they write their book? And I want you to take this further. What would that book mean to you and your business right now? Like really think about this. I want you to imagine right now, you're sitting across from that family member, that spouse that you just look up to so much. And I want you to imagine this. Maybe close your eyes and do this with me. I want you to imagine for a second, close your eyes. I want you to imagine the scenario. You're handing your mother your book, your father your book. You're holding your book and you're handing it to your spouse, to your kids. And you said, I did it. Dad wrote it. Mom wrote it. And I want you to imagine you handing them this book right now and you sharing with them your whole life story and your life journey. And how would that make you feel? I want you to imagine you walking on stage and everybody's holding a copy of your book. Hey, we're happy to have you on the show. We have an author today. What would that feel like? Standing there on Christmas morning, holding a copy of your book to your family, signing a copy of your book and mailing that to somebody. What would that feel like? I want you to imagine, what would it feel like having somebody call you and say, I read your book. It just changed my life. A friend calling you and saying, oh my gosh, you're an author. What would that feel like to have all of those emotions, to have that brand, to have that following? What would it feel like to have people commenting on your post saying, send me the book, send me the book? What would it feel like to see somebody tag you on social media saying, oh my gosh, you guys have to read this book. It changed my life. And I want you just for the next 30 seconds, I'm going to shut up. I just want you to feel that for a moment on what that feels like. I'm going to share with you guys a story. This is Crystal. Crystal's life mission was to write a book. And I met her at a conference and she said, Nikki T, you think we can make this happen? I said, babe, we're going to make this happen in 30 days or less. That's how long this should take, 30 days or less, to have this in your hand done. That is the standard, my friends. Everybody in the chat put, that is the standard. That is the standard. You're rolling with Nikki T now. You are rolling with me now, my friends. That is the standard, okay? 30 days or less. And I said, babe, we're going to get this done. And here's what happened. Went through the process with Crystal. I worked with her one-on-one, helped her write a book. And we sent her the very first copy. She used Brad, an author, to market. And she FaceTimed me when the delivery showed up. She was in her car. She got the post. Imagine the moment. She's got the box from the post office. And she opens it up. And she starts just bawling her eyes out. So it's Crystal on FaceTime, me on FaceTime. I'm crying. She's crying. And she goes, Nikki, I did it. I said, yeah, you did, babe. It's really cool. I was at her birthday last week. And she threw this Hollywood classy party. I was in a tuxedo. And I got to stand up and give her a toast on her birthday and tell that journey of Crystal writing her first book. She's now published her second book. Guys, when I tell you that writing a book will change your life, I know it. But you just felt what that would feel like. And I want you to imagine those scenarios in your life of being on stage, being that podcaster. And I can tell you guys this now, a decade later, everything that I said was going to happen, happened. I walked on stage. They gave out my book. It changed lives. But here's what I want you to look at. What is the highest and best version of you? And here's the thing I need you to understand. You have to today make decisions as that version of you. How does that best-selling author make a decision? Say less. Yes, go knock out the cover. It's $500. Done. I got a book publishing team. Done. I'm on Amazon. Done. I'm writing a book. Done. What are the habits of that human moving forward? And what I need you to do today is start walking throughout the world as if you're that version of you. I'll give you a more real example. How does the version of somebody that is in the best physical shape of their life move? What do they wear? How do they talk? How do they meal prep? How often do they work out? What are they consuming, right? It's a different version, right? And if you did that on a daily basis, what would happen in 30, 60, 90 days? If you stopped eating junk and ate clean, if you worked out every day, if you showed up to the gym, if you got new clothes and meal prep, where would you be in 90 days? You would be a completely different human being, yes? And the thing you guys have to understand is this is a new muscle. That's all it simply is. Whatever happened in the past, happened in the past, okay? Whatever happened, it doesn't matter. But today, moving forward, you're allowed to draw a line in the sand and say, you know what, Nick, you're damn straight. I am a best-selling author. I am a guy or gal that gets on podcasts. And Justice said this best, you become that person. Guys, everything we get in life is identity. And what I encourage you to do and challenge you to do for the next 24 hours is move through the world as if you are already a published author. How does you here make decisions? Well, of course, we're going to knock out the book website because the book's coming. Of course, I'm going to study Amazon because I'm a best-selling author. Of course, I'm going to start the podcast. Of course, I'm going to create the content. Of course, I'm going to have a YouTube channel. It's what I do, dog. I am an author now. And what you need to decide today is to forever become that person, because I will promise you guys this. I am a kid from a $3,000 single-wide trailer in the middle of the prairie. Like I said, who used to have his high school girlfriends write his papers. By nobody's standards should I be a 3-time published author, but we're here now, dog. Why? Because I make decisions as the highest, best version of myself. And I challenge and encourage you guys to do this. So here's what I need you to do. I need you to take action over the next 24 hours, one step to that future you. And before we leave, I want you to think about it. What is the thing that's going to stop you? What is the thing that's going to stop you? Oh, I'm not an author. Well, figure it out. Write it with AI. I don't know how to do a cover. Well, go figure it out with AI. Hire a team. What's going to happen is you're going to come up to this right here. And this is what I need you guys to pay attention to. This is the last thing I'll teach you. You're going to find something right here that is going to stop you. Well, I don't know the technology. You're either going to figure it out yourself or pay somebody to do it. When you don't know how to market it, you're either going to figure it out yourself or get around people that'll teach you how to do it. And when this moment comes, I need you to grab this person who is in 30 days from now and make decisions as that person. Nick, it's hard to write. I understand that. Well, get better. You guys realize to write a book, you actually have to write a book, right? That's the coolest part. If you want to be a 1%er, everybody check this out. To become a 1% person, which less than 1% will write a book, guess what you have to do? What 99% of people are not willing to do. That's what makes an author that much more elite. You guys tracking me? Success loves speed, Carmen. I freaking love that. For you to become a 1%er, you have to do what the 99% are not willing to do. Is everybody tracking me on that so far? So my friends, that is the game. That is the best that I have for you. And I need you today to move forward as highest and best. So guys, this, my friends, I promised you how to write a book and get more clients. Did I deliver? Did you guys have fun today? All right. So Masterclass is over. I have 2 questions for you guys. Well, really 1 question. Hey, if I held this as like a 4-day workshop that was really intense and like you literally left the end of it as a published author, would anybody want to attend that? If I held this as like a 4-day workshop where we like really got to work in like a container over the next 4 days. Okay. So here's what I think I'm going to do. I'm like debating this right now. I'm debating hosting like a 4-day workshop where we actually went and like worked on this together. Is that something you guys would really, really like? Where like day 1, we go book cover. Day 2, we go table of contents and like go really, really deep on it. All right, cool. So here's what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to drop this in the chat. This is something that I want to do. I put together a quick little website for you guys. So here's what I'm thinking. Actually, well, it's already on the dates. I'm going to show this to you guys. So I was debating. So check this out. Congratulations to you guys. So I built like a workshop for this for the next 4 days, coming up in 2 weeks. And I was waiting to make sure I had the right people on it. I got to tell you guys, because of your guys' questions, I'm going to host this workshop. So congratulations. So I was like, they're either going to be like the dopest people ever, or I'm not doing this at all. And I was like, they're dope. Let's freaking go. I love you guys. I love the energy. So here's what I got for you guys. So check this out. Here's the big pitch. Hold on to your wallets, folks. It's 97 bucks. So check this out. Here's what I put together for you guys. I want to do this. I really do. I want to invite my private clients to this as well. So here's what I'm going to do, guys. Here's going to be the dates. We are going to do, not that, we are going to do the stuff that, okay, so check this out. No, that's not it either. Hold on. I got too many websites, guys. Give me a second here. Get you the real one. I know it's in here. I promise you. Okay, I'm going to put this in the chat for you guys. So I put this, no, stop doing that, dude. No, go there. There we go. So here's what we're going to do. This is going to be the Write a Book Challenge, okay? I'm like really jacked up about this. This is only for business owners. Please know this. Here's going to be the agenda. We're going to go Tuesday. So it's going to be June the 30th. Okay. Here's where it's going to start. So we have all of next week off because I didn't want to roll you guys right into that right here. So we're going to go June 30th, July 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And then you're going to go celebrate with your family on the 4th of July. Okay. I was going to do it after the 4th. However, I am a work hard, play hard guy. And I have private clients that are writing books right now that I want to work with. So we're going to go Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay, so that's how this is going to work. It's going to be the 30th through the 3rd. Now, here's the thing. It's going to be 97 bucks if you want to come, or 97 bucks is going to be the general sessions. A lot of you guys, I'm seeing all these questions coming, want me one-on-one. So we have a VIP ticket as well for you. If you want to come and go VIP, you'll get an hour Q&A before each challenge day. So day 1, here's what we're going to do. We're going to work on your book cover and title. I'm going to show you guys how to design book covers using AI, the whole bit. Next, day 2, we're going to lay out your book with your table of contents. Day 3, I'm going to show you how to use AI to write your book and talk your book out. Then day 4, I'm going to show you guys book funnels and break down that process of launching the funnel like my ebook right there. 97 bucks if you want to come. It'll be noon to 1. If you want me one-on-one VIP session, there's going to be 20 spots. This is where my private clients will be. If you guys want to come to that, I'm going to drop this in the chat right now for you if you guys want to come on the 30th. So I'm going to say challenge with Nikki T. Now, why I'm doing this, I don't want you guys to get all rah-rahed and then not do anything. So if you want to take action on this, go grab whichever ticket for you guys makes sense. And we will do that right there. So that is what we have for you guys. So grab a ticket to the challenge right there. June the 30th. Through July the 3rd. It'll be sick. So why a challenge? Just let me share with you guys. Yeah, Julie, if you want to grab an intro, like I'm going to put it online, not today, like next week. I wanted to see if you guys really like were popping off on this. So I've published all these books for people, right? To me, it's my life's mission. Helping people write a book, then get on stages, run ads, blow up their business. So there's a whole other side of this, right? Once you have your book, we have to market and promote your book. You have to have social media content. Who here knows, Jeff, noon to 1 for the general sessions, 11 to noon for the VIP. So 11 to 1 for the VIPs. And so what VIP is this. People want me to build them $1 million funnel. Well, I can't do that for everybody. You have to be in the VIP room, right? And so VIP will be 11 to noon, and then we'll go general sessions from noon to 1. The idea is this. A challenge is learn it, do it, learn it, do it, learn it, do it, learn it, do it. Somebody will literally have a book written at the end of that 4 days. Is that going to be you? That's my challenge. I just did this a few weeks ago with a lead generation challenge called the Lead Magnet Challenge. I had people by day 4 literally launching meta ads and getting leads. Who here wants more leads from social media? Would that be sick? That's what this is all going to be about. I'm not sure, Joseph, you have to do the back engineering. I think it's 2 to 3 for you. So I think I'm 3 hours behind you Pacific right now. So 11 a.m. Pacific and then noon Pacific for the classes right there. Julie, what I'm saying in the VIP is you get to ask me, we're going to go one-on-one like this. In the challenge, I'm going to walk you through every step, 1000%. I ain't holding nothing back. In the VIP, all these little side questions is where we get to work on it, because a lot of people want me directly in their business. Well, we can only do that for 20 people in the VIP session in an hour's time each day, if that makes sense. The general session, I'm showing you the whole process, but some people are like, yo, dog, I want to be exclusive with you. And so that's what we're going to do there. So guys, that'll be challenge with Nikki T. I put the link in there. It should be working for you guys. And I'll be sending you guys out updates and stuff like that. The whole goal today was to give you guys everything that I possibly knew about writing a book. And I want to hear from you guys before we leave. What's your favorite thing that you've learned so far before we break for the day? What's the favorite thing that you've learned so far? Somebody want to unmute and share? Totally cool. If you want to hit me in the chat, what's the favorite thing? And I know there's a lot that you're like, dude, how do I pick one? Yeah, go ahead, please.
Nick, you might not be expecting this, but what really stood out to me, besides all the awesome stuff you taught, is that we that might be waiting to just have everything perfect, we don't have to. You are using a whiteboard and this horrible echo and no professional AI stuff, and you still, it's the information that matters. It doesn't matter about how professional you are. Sorry, hope you don't mind that. I can't hear you.
I don't mind that at all, my dear. I love that more than you'll ever know. And let me tell you why. Guys, here's what I need you to understand. This is the last thing I get to share with you. God doesn't call the qualified, he qualifies the called. I'm going to say that again. God doesn't call those that are already qualified. He qualifies those that are called. And Julie, let me explain what I mean. I have a heart to serve. I've helped all of these sweet, amazing people change their lives. And I knew that some part of you was in your own head about this writing and book publishing process. And yeah, did I teach as much as I possibly could, as fast as I possibly could? Absolutely. A calling will chase you. I love that point. Oh my gosh. And so for me, you can get on and share your heart with people and serve. My whole system's called Solve and Serve. So guys, I'm an elite business coach. We add millions of dollars to business owners. If you ever want to chat with me about that, get a hold of me, okay? Get a hold of me offline, email back, whatever. We have elite programs for meta ads. I do high-end marketing. That's what I do. That's what I'm known for. All of these people came to me to actually grow their businesses to $1 million and beyond. That's what I do. But I know a book is the first part of that. So might as well give you all the secrets for free. And then down the road, somebody here is going to say, Nick, I need help with social media. I want to run meta ads. I want you as my business coach. I want you as my mentor. Help me get on podcasts. Help me get on stages, blow my business up. That's what I do. We have a coaching program. That's exactly what I do. I've added millions and millions of dollars to people. But I can also share with you as much as I possibly can for free to love you up. Because some of you guys are going to take this. Some of you guys aren't ready for a level like mine. Some of you guys aren't ready to run meta ads and invest $1,000 a month into ads. I totally get that. So I can love you up and give you everything that I've learned, so that way you don't go pay some publisher 25 grand when you can do it for free or 3,000 bucks, right? Oh, thank you so much, man. Like, I love this, guys. But you can see, Julie, I'm just teaching something that I've lived, right? And this is what I need all of you to understand. This isn't me. This is you. This is you seeing a mirror going, you're right, Nick. I'm going to write my own book. I'm going to start my own podcast. Guys, never beg for a seat at somebody else's table. Go build your own. Never beg for a seat on somebody else's stage. Go build your own. The first time I gave a speech was my own conference. I started my own podcast. You don't need anybody to go start changing lives. If you have a heart to serve, you have a good program, I don't care what you sell. If you're good at it, somebody out there needs your help. Somebody out there right now needs your help. That's I know this for a fact. And I know a social media video is the way to reach them. I know a YouTube channel is the way to reach them. Meta ads are the way to reach them, lead magnets and books. What a book is, my friend, it's the ultimate lead magnet. I don't care who you are and what you sell. If you start putting good data online, insurance brokers, get my book. Real estate agents, get my book. Personal trainers, get my book. Coaches, get my book. Speakers, get my book. Get me on stage. You can't lose by giving away. And I have this belief I will keep giving away good because I can never get rid of it. And when you give away good, it always comes back. It always comes back. It always comes back. So guys, I promised you the secrets are free. I gave it to you. If you want to go a little bit further with me, go to challengewithnikki.com, grab a $97 or a $297 ticket. Doesn't matter to me which one you do. And that'll be a 4-day container for us to get to work. So if you like this, the next step, throw $100 down or $297. Doesn't matter to me which one you do. We'll be together for 4 days. So that's the next extension. Now, some of you guys might be like, yo, dude, I have to have that guy running meta ads for me. I got to have this dude in my life. Get a hold of me, Facebook, Instagram, DM, reply back to an email or text. I'm easy to get a hold of, my guys. So I promise you everything. Let's just hear this real quick. Yeah, perfection is God's work. My job's to take action. All right, cool. So that's what we're going to leave on. Jeff just inspired it. Hey, you got to sign off a Zoom with me. What's the one thing you're going to take action on in the next 24 hours? What's the one thing? You can hit it in the chat. Somebody can unmute and share it. Before you get out of here, what's the one step you're going to take? Is that writing your first chapter? Is that coming up with your book title? Getting your book cover done with Claude or ChatGPT? Is that reaching out to author to market? Is that getting into my challenge? Watch this. This one's a wild one. Who here is going to go put a video up on social media and declare to the world and commit that you're writing a book? You want to change your life forever? Go to social media today and say, hey, this is wild. I'm inspired. My coach, Nicholas, just got me inspired. I just hired a book publisher. I'm freaking publishing a book. You guys, this will be done by the time the kids go back to school. Who here wants to take that commitment? I'm not saying that's everybody, but I'm calling somebody here out. I'm putting you on blast saying, if that's you, do it. Tell your wife, babe, I'm writing a book. I know I said it. I know I've wanted to. What I challenge you to do is this. All of you knew you wanted to write a book before I showed up in your newsfeed. All of you knew this. All of you had that goal. What does highest and best version of you do? That person gets it done. Maybe you started your book, or maybe you have your book, right? Yeah, my family's tired of hearing it. Well, go to the family and say, you know what? Give me 30 days or less. I'm going to follow through. I'll promise you guys this. The day you follow through, even if it's not perfect, if it's just version 1, it'll change your life. That's why we launched this one. It's not perfect. I'm going to build up on it, right? And so once you have a plan in place, you can start moving and just know it's a new language. You're learning it. And all I have to do over the next 24 hours is do one thing to move me one step closer to the book. Then the next day, one thing. All I ask of you guys as your breakthrough coach now, all I ask of you is today, just do one thing. Hey, I'm going to commit to a date. I'm going to get the title. I'm going to get the cover. Then tomorrow, guess what? Just do one more thing. All a book is laying bricks, dudes. When I started this, I'll just give you guys my play-by-play. I got the book cover done. That was it. That was my one thing. Call Christy with Brad's team, get my book cover done. I got that. Then the very next day, what's the title? The very next day, my first chapter. That's it. And that's you just start building up the elements, my friends. And so I hope I have delivered more value than you were expecting today. It's been absolutely an honor showing up, guys. I am just so called to help serve business owners right now and give as much as I possibly can. I love you guys. I truly hope you learned a ton. I'll get you guys the replay back via email and text. And I truly hope to see you in the book writing challenge on the 30th through the 3rd. That's where things are going to get lit. You guys have a blessed Friday, and we will talk to you soon. I love you. I believe in you. We'll see you guys.